theory exam is somehow over because we have to just study and we have to write it. But practical exam is beyond the theory examinations. So hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Ayurveda Basking, and in this video we are going to see the practical exam scenario, and the pattern is for the BMS first form. Nowadays their university exam is going on. In some university theory paper is already over, and now the turn for the practical exam. Since this practical exam we all have some phobias for Viva and for written exam and for other sporting and all, and especially if a practical is having for many portion. For example, you have to do some practical, there are sporting also, Viva also, so much things are there, and we don't know what to do and what to study, from where to study. But for the NCISM batch, they have already given what you have to study, from where you have to study, and how much you have to study. So in this video we are going to see all the key essential points that is mentioned in our syllabus that will surely happening in your Viva scenario. And if you know this before your Viva, then you can perform very well and you can score a good marks, because this also matter there. If in exam we can get maximum 50 marks for passing, but if you want a good score, then you have to perform well in your Viva so that you can get maximum mark from that portion. So let's start our video, and this video is specifically for the Kriya Sharira exam for BMS first form. Before starting, first we have to see the mark distribution. Okay, so in this paper actually there are mainly 3 portions are there. Out of this 3 you have to do 2 portions because the third one is already completed, and total is there 200 marks. So as you can see, there is one practical which constitutes of 100 marks, then Viva 70 marks, and the internal assessment 30 marks. Out of this internal assessment is already done, so no need to worry about this. Only we have to focus on our 170 marks, and after our video is over, you at least you can score up to 150 marks or above 150 marks. Okay, so let's start our video. So first, what is happening in our practical? So in practical basically 3 main headings are there. First one is your sporting is there, so we have to thoroughly and very nicely understand what they will kept in the sporting and how we can get maximum mark in this sporting. Second, practicals are there, because since it is a physiological exam, so you have to perform some tests or you have to do some practical that you have learned through your BMS first form. And lastly, Viva will be happening. Okay, so one by one we will see this. First thing is your sporting. So in sporting there are 10 subheadings that you have to give answer. So first heading is histology slide. Okay, so actually in our syllabus they have included the histology slide, and they not specifically mention what histology they will capture. So it will depend on your practicals. For example, if in your college they completed the histology of RBC, WBC, platelets, so they will cap those things. Okay, so I will suggest you before your exam you can visit your practical lab, Kriya Sharira lab, so that you can see all these things, or you can ask your particular teacher, or you can see what they have teach you the whole year. For example, in your if in your college they have completed this kind of slide, they can cap this for 1 marks also. In my time, when I am in BMS first form, so they completed this portion, and this is kept for our exam. And for that microscope will be there, and you have to identify which particular cell is seeing through that microscope. And this is basically the DLC slide, in which different leukocytes are there. For example, eosinophil is there, lymphocyte is there, basophil is there, neutrophil is there, and monocyte, platelets, etc. So these basic things you have to know, at least how you can identify. For example, neutrophil is a multi-lobe, eosinophil is a headphone shape. So this kind of characteristic feature at least you should know if they kept this kind of slide, so that you can score it or write it. Second important portion is your ECG report. So generally ECG report they will say we have to calculate heart rate. Okay, I am giving you one important formula which will help you in your first prof as well as in second prof, because same thing will happening in the second prof also. So there are two methods. First you have to understand this. For basic understanding, I am giving you some short trick. So this one square is having the 5 small squares. Okay, for trick you can count either the big square, for example this one big square, or you can count this small square 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so if you are counting this small square 1 2 3 4 5, then you have to take a constant number, that is 1500, and you divide it by this small square. Then which small square we have to take? You have to take this RR interval scale. So as you know, this is our Q P Q R S T. Okay, so this is R, this is R. So out of this two wave, the between space is we have to take the RR interval. Okay, so for if you are taking the small square, then you have to divide it by 1500. So here we can see 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 square, 1500 by 5, 300 beat per minute. For example, if here you can see there are 10. So 1500 divided by 10, 150 beat per minute. Here you can see there are 3, means 3 into 5, 15. So 1500 divided by 1500 beat per minute. Second, the way is you can count the large square. Okay, for example, large square, this is 1 RR ratio, this is 1 RR, another. So large square, as you can see, this is 1 large square and this is second large square. So 300 divided by 2. When you are taking the large square, you have to divide by 300, and when we are taking the small square, then you have to divide it by the 1500. Okay, so this basic formula you can remember it and count the heartbeat in that particular exam. Next thing is blood report. So in blood report, normally there are some values you have to know, because if the value is violated or it is below or above the normal value, then it is the abnormal value. And these are some of the test or lab value I have added here. For example, hemoglobin in male, it is 13.8 to 17.2, and the important thing is that in this you should know this values unit. Sometimes they can ask in Viva and null also. Okay, so for hemoglobin in male, it is 13.8 to 17.2 gram per dl, and in female it is 12 to 15.6 gram per dl. For WBC, 4500 to 11,000. So if it value is above or below this, then there must be one pathology is happening in the body. Then for platelets, creatinine, blood urea nitrogen, glucose, fasting, and HbA1c. So these are the value. I will upload this PPT on our Telegram channel. You can download it from there and repeatedly revise these things. Okay, next important things is same like value I have given here. I have additionally added the blood pressure, the pulse rate, temperature, cholesterol, potassium, sodium. These are like more than enough. Okay, at least you should try to remember the basic one, and the basic one is basically related with the hematology, like hemoglobin, WBC, platelets, sometimes the creatinine or BUN also, the HbA1c also very common. Then BP you should know, because in first year in practical it is given we have to perform BP. Then these are the value. Fourth subheading is the Prakritic character. So in these things there are two situations that can happen. First things is that they can put one diagram. Okay, in diagram, maybe for example I am giving you one situation. You just imagine you have given a picture. In that picture a very obese person is shown, or he is sleeping, or he is doing some he is just sitting, or he is watching TV, like that. So some kind of laziness behavior is shown. So, or he may be sleeping. So this kind of character we can conclude, oh, this is somewhat kapha related person. Similarly, if a person with red skin or pimples, like that a picture is shown, then we can understand, oh, it is related with the pitta. So like that some character will be there in that particular image. If it is an image, then you have to understand which one is this prakriti. Second thing is that they can put one paper. In that paper some headings are written. A person is having a BMI this, or the height is this, weight is this, skin color is this, so some characteristic will be there, and out of those characteristics you have to understand, oh, it is a Vata Prakriti or Pitta Prakriti or Kapha Prakriti. Okay, and the same characteristic you have already studied in your the theory exam. Okay, so here you can see by the image, if it is a Vata Prakriti, it should be very lean, and the body the skin of the person is very dry, and the hair is also very dry, rough hair, and sometimes they are that much thin, their ribs or their bone is, we can appreciate. The second one is Pitta. It is not that much thin, but it is not that much thick also, so it is moderate side. But sometimes the person may have pimples or the red skin, like that characteristic. If it is a Kapha, then it kind of some obesity will be there. And we cannot say it's obesity, maybe he is not that much obese, but the skin will be plumpy, soft, like that. So according to the character you have to understand which one is this Prakriti, and in your exam you have already studied a number of symptoms, through that you can easily understand which one is this Prakriti. So here they can put diagram, or they can give a case scenario in which they have written some point, and you have to understand, oh, this is this Prakriti. Okay, it is easy. Next thing is problem based on the Sara or Agni Pariksha. So here what is happening, as you know we have 8 Sara, 7 is the Dhatu Sara and 8 one is the Ojo Sara, and we have one Agni Pariksha. In that Agni Pariksha we have 4 type of Agni. This is clear. So here also they can do one thing, they can either put the diagram like the Prakriti one, or they can give the case scenario or some written characteristic feature, and you have to understand if it is a Sara, which one this Sara, or if it is a Agni, which is the particular Agni. Okay, so for example, if it is a Tvak Sara, then in Tvak Sara mainly the skin character and the hair character are explained in explanation. So if it is a Tvak Sara, then person should have a soft, smooth, glossy, thin hair or skin, and they have they like characterized by the happiness, good fortune, intellect. Then if it is a Rakta Sara, the body or the nails, eyes, face, tongue and palm, the reddish tinge will be there, and their intelligence, and they have high vitality, enthusiasm. If it is a Mamsa Sara, then they have stability, happiness and well built muscles will be there, especially the jaw, neck, shoulder, etc. And if it is a Medo Sara, then they have an excessive unctuousness or oiliness in the skin, voice, eyes and hair, and they are generally wealthy and generous. If it is a Asti Sara, then they have a very large strong bone, teeth and joint, and they are energetic and physically strong. Next one is the Majja Sara, characterized with the long eyes, a soft heavy body and a melodious voice. For Shukra Sara, known for their attractive eyes, pleasant personality, milky white teeth or strong sexual vitality. Sattva Sara, mentally strong individual, and they have a wise, faithful, courageous, capable of enduring the high stress. So these are the features that I have enlisted. Okay, so this is the explanation way. As you have already studied their shloka also, so sometimes they can put some term. For example, they can write which one is a klesha saha, like a person is having a klesha saha property. So like that you just refer the shloka portion also, so that if out of this any Sara will kept for your exam, you can easily identify it. Generally they will put the easy one, and we can easily understand by reading those lines or by seeing the picture. But since we don't take any chance to get a wrong answer, so try to see or at least study the shloka portion also, so that you have a better idea. And explanation, I will upload this PPT, you can repeatedly revise these explanations also. Next is the Agni type. So I have already told you there are 4 type of Agni. So if in your exam Sara is not coming, then they can put the Agni. So first is Sama Agni. Sama Agni is basically the ideal state in which all the 3 dosha are balanced. So it will, what has the characteristic? Person can efficiently digest the food without the discomfort, bloating or excessive hunger. So they have a good health and a high immunity. If it is a Manda Agni person, then basically what happens, their Agni is low, so their digestion is low. If their digestion is not proper, their appetite is also less, and they have a very like alasa is there, or ama feature will be there. Then if it is a Tikshna Agni person, Tikshna Agni is due to the predominant of the Pitta dosha, so there will be a digestion is also fast, or intense hunger is there, and after the digestion they can feel some dryness in the throat area or the oral cavity, or heartburning or hyperacidity. And if it is a Vishwama Agni, so Vishwama is basically the Vata predominant Agni, in that very unpredictable fluctuating nature is there. Sometimes they can easily digest the heavy food, for example biryani etc., and sometimes they can't even digest the light food or kanni etc. So in this portion we have a total 8 plus 4 possibility, so there are 12 possibility. Out of this 12 possibility, you can get any of the Sara or the Agni. So actually what happened, generally there are some group is there. If in class 80 or 70 person are there, then they are divided into some groups. For example, first 20 or first 30 will have today exam, next 20 on the next day. So like that, in that shift they can change this question. For example, if in one shift they can put the Tvaksara, in the next shift they can put the Vishama Agni. So all you have to go through this, all the 14 point. Okay. Next, the sixth one is that case of Vriddhi Shaya Lakshana. Okay, so as in your Kriya Shira paper 1, you have already studied the Vriddhi Shaya Lakshana of dosha. Here same thing can happen. They can either give some diagram, or they can on a paper they can give some case scenario or headings. For example, I will give you one heading. A person is a very emaciated one. He is having a weight loss and blackish discoloration. Sometimes he can feel the tremor, and sometimes involuntary movement is there. So you have to understand which dosha is there, and that specific dosha, either it is an increased or decreased form, means it is a Vriddhi form or a Shaya form. So for that things you have to see the shlokas of Vriddhi Shaya Vata Pitta Kapha, or you can see the English explanation if you don't like shloka. Here for example I have written this. If it is a case of a Vata Vriddhi, then emaciation will be there because Kashya Kashnitum the shloka. Weight loss will be there, blackish discoloration, tremor, involuntary movement. But if it is a Shaya case, then there will be a reduced speech and activity, lack of enthusiasm, confusion of mind etc. If it is a Pitta dosha, in Vriddhi intense burning sensation will be there, yellow discoloration, because generally if whenever the Pitta Vriddhi is there, most commonly the Prakrit Karn will have yellowish discoloration. Then if it is in a Shaya, then digestion will reduce, coldness he can feel because metabolism will slow down, and loss of luster. If it is a Kapha dosha, then again in Vriddhi the metabolic is slow down, so coldness, fatigueness, increased sleep, this can be the feature. And if it is a Shaya, then joint pain, burning sensation, this will be the feature. So like that, out of this anyone in the form of image or in the form of case scenario can come. So for this also, if you can refer the shloka, it's a very good, or you can remember this English explanation. Next, the seventh things is that applicability of one sport used in the hematological practical. So for this I have made one PDF that is a very important, and in that I have written the uses also. I will show the PDF. You can see this is one of the important PDF in that all the exam related images are there, diluting fluids are there, all the apparatus, urinometer, capillary tube, then their uses along with their specialized use, scalp vein, blue litmus paper. So this will I will give. You have to comment the PDF in the comment section if you need this PDF. So this important PDF I will give you. You have to comment PDF in this video's comment section. So seventh portion we have completed. In the eighth portion, identify the difference between the two things and uses. For example, the PDF I am giving now, in that some things are there, the pipettes are there, the thermometer and all things are there. So in this portion, eighth portion, they can keep two things and you have to identify the difference between them and the use. Ninth question is the model based question, and 10th one is the human experiment related. For this, actually this is a very specific question, because according to your college physiological lab, they will put this one of the image I have taken from the Google. So like that, some images will be there in your Kriya Sharira lab. Surely some this model kind of things will be there. So they can put these things, or then what they can do, for example, this one is the digestion of carbohydrate. So this is the heading, and in that they can like put one white paper, and you have to give the question answer of the question, and the question will be like that, identify the model or identify the poster. So you have to identify, oh, this is the digestion of the carbohydrate. So like that, if this kind of images or the models are there in your physiological lab, the safe point is you can take the picture of them, okay, and according to that prepare, because what they can keep in the sporting and all, what they have already, they can't buy new things for you. So the important thing is that you can take pictures, or you can go your lab, because some days are there, 1 2 3 days are there for the Viva. So you can go your college, or you can take the picture of these models, so that it will be helpful for you, okay. It will depend on the college which model or images they have. And the second part is that, so these are the 10 sporting, and you know this 10 sporting are only for 10 marks, but every marks will matter now. Second portion is that for the Ayurvedic practical. In Ayurvedic practical, the important things is that, so in Ayurvedic practical, the important things is that you don't have to do a practical, you have to just write it, or you have to just like, I think first important thing is you have to write it, and according to that what you got, you have to do some very little work will be there, definitely. So here performance based component is there, and maybe the thing is that you can take the cheat will be there, and on that your roll numbers are written, and according to that you have to select one topic. So in this Ayurvedic practical, I will like make more understandable for you guys. So in Ayurvedic practical, 4 components are there. Out of this 4, according to the syllabus, you have to take one out of each. For 10 marks 1, 10 marks 1, 10 marks 1, 10 marks 1. So total 40 marks will be there. 10 marks for the Prakriti Prikshan, 10 marks for the Sara, 10 marks for the Agni Koshta Priksha, 10 marks for the Dosha Vriddhi Shreya Lakshana. So this will be the pattern. The first option is that they will give some cheats, for example roll number 2, roll number 3, like that, and they will assign, oh now you do the Prakriti Prikshan. Self, generally it will be self, because we don't have that much time to assess the another's Prakriti, it will take lots of time now. And the Sara also is, it is also self, Agni Koshta Priksha, but you have to write all the essential point that is given in your record. So this you can study from your record, because the same pattern is there, and in a Kriya Sharira record it is very nicely explained with all the key headings, okay. So this portion you can take from the there. And the second option is that they can give option, for example 2 option, they can give for example roll number 1, roll number 3, roll number 5. They can say out of this Prakriti Prikshan and Sara Priksha, roll number 1 have to write Prakriti, 3 have to Prakriti, 5 have to Prakriti. Similarly the even number 2, 4, 6, they have to write the Sara Priksha. But here what will be the mark distribution? Since we are writing 2 out of we are writing 1 out of 2, so 1 will be of 20 marks. So according to your mark distribution, you have to elaborately explain those things, and like write all the essential point. For example in Prakriti, so many headings are there, so at least you write 30 headings, okay. According to that what is coming in your exam you write, but study all this thing, because chances are there you can get any on one of this. Next and important thing is that third one is the lab practical exam. So here you have to do some small practical, you have to write also, and you have to do some small practical. In syllabus what is given, First is that small like HP, BT, bleeding time, clotting time, blood group or urine examination. Then human physiological practical is come with pulse examination, BP, heart sound and reflexes, and this is of 30 marks. So according to like pattern, they can make the mark distribution. For example, here if we divide it a 15-15 ratio, so 15 for this HB, BT, CT, so out of this you can get 2. One will be the long one, one will be the small one. Then here pulse examination, BP, heart sound, reflex, usually they will give 1. For example, out of this one will get BP, out of this one will get heart sound, or one will get reflexes. Okay, and if they make it a short, they can do like this: one have to do the BP and they have to do one reflex. For example, they have to do the bicep reflex, the other person have to do the knee reflex. Okay, so like this pattern will be there, but you have to study this portion, because in your exam they can give your roll number to any of this. So HB, BT, CT, blood group, urine exam, read the procedure, aim, apparatus, all the things needed in here, because sometimes side viva will be there. In side viva, what happen when you are doing this examination, the teacher or the external will come near to you and he can ask what is the importance of this, how you are doing, what is the principle, like that. So you just study all this, and specifically for reflexes on, try to remember the root value, because sometimes they will ask what is the root value of this. Okay, and in BP Korokov sounds are there. When we are deflating the BP, then we hear those sounds. There are 5 Korokov sounds, so try to remember that sound also, because in my practical ma'am asked this thing, so I am giving you this, maybe they can ask to you also. The fourth one important thing is the project work, the activity based, which you have already submitted, so no need to worry. And the fifth one is the practical, which is your record, so you must take your record and make sure you have already signed from the respective faculties on the HOD of the department. Okay, so on that specific day when you have your viva, you don't need be in hurry. And the last portion is this 100 marks, how it is divided. So first you have to do sporting. There are 10 sporting, each one of 1 marks, and when you get this PDF, you can easily do all the 10 sporting right. This is the main our motive. Okay, second one is your Ayurvedic practical, which is of 40 marks, Prakriti, Sara, Dosha, Vriddhi, Shaya or Agni and Koshta Preksha. So from your record, try to remember all these headings, and if possible you can write it and remember it. Third heading is the lab practical, which is of 30 marks, but here one thing is that you have to perform it. Okay, so maybe you can get HB, or you can get the CT or BT or BP, like that. So if you are in a hostel or a day school, you can do this on your roommates. For example, BP or the pulse rate, this before the exam you just try it, so that on the examination day you don't do any mistake, and try their respective headings and their principles, how they working, etc, etc. Project and record you have make sure completed. Okay, so this, if you have completed your 20 marks you have already taken, you have to put yourself mainly for the Ayurvedic practical, because in that we have to write it, and we have a short duration. You have to write all the essential and important point in that given particular period. So make sure you have a proper speed of writing, and you can write all the things. If you repeatedly read those things, then it will be easy to recollect all those things on that particular examination day. Sometimes what happen in the viva and the examination day, we forget it if we don't revise this repeatedly. So try to remember this, all the heading of Prakriti, Sara, Preksha and all, so that on that particular day when you get the paper, you can start writing without of thinking, because you don't have that much of time to think and write in that time. Okay, for the lab practical, if it is possible, try to do at least once before the examination, or if you don't have that apparatus and all, at least study from your record. Okay, so this will be your 100 marks, that is over. Next 100 marks is your for practical and internal assessment. So sorry, next one is viva. In that viva they have already mentioned the things. So 70 marks viva will be there. And if you are just attending the Viva, you will get the minimum marks, but you have to, as a medical student, you have to answer the question also. First thing is the general Viva based on the Ayurveda. So in that they can ask the simple Ayurvedic concept. For example, what are the Tridosha? What is the relationship between Tridosha and Panch Mahabhuta? What is the definition of Prakriti? What is the definition of Sara? What is the importance of Sara? How many dhatus are there? What is the function of that particular dhatu? What is their nyay, like poshana nyay? Or what is the ahara paka or vipaka? So like this, the basic heading, the all the chapter we have completed in our Ayurvedic portion, their basic heading at least you know. And since it is a Kriya Sharira or physiological paper, so at least you know the shloka of function. They surely ask what is the function of vata, what is the function of pitta, what is the function of kapha, then what is the function of dhatu, rasa, rakta, mamsa, medas. So try to remember at least their functional shloka, definitional shloka. Second important thing is vibe on instrument. So some instrument will be there, the same instrument, the PDF I am giving you, the out of them instrument will be there. So they can give some pipettes, then they will ask what is this, then you have to say, oh, this is this pipette we are using in this practical. Or if it is a clinical thermometer, why you are using, we are using for it temperature measurement. So like this Viva instrument will be there, and the same instrument is there, no special or new instrument will be there. So try to see that PDF again which I am providing you. The third portion is the structured Viva on the part B. Same things will be there, and recitation of the verses. Actually, when you are reciting any shloka, so there is a one pattern of reciting a shloka, the pronunciation, the exact breaking of the big word. So all those things you have to take care while reciting the shloka, since it contain of 15 marks. So when you recite a shloka wrongly, they can like teacher can interrupt you, or he can like deduct your marks. So if you are reciting any shloka, try to recite it. And like if they can give any shloka you can recite, then at least try to prepare 2 or 3 shloka, so that if teacher give you option, you can give, okay ma'am, I will recite this shloka, and accurately know the meaning of that particular shloka, proper sandhi vicheda and all the basic things. Okay, next one is the communications, like that they will understand by which manner you are giving that particular Viva. So this is your 70 marks, that is for your Viva, and 30 marks last is for your internal assessment. So second part we have already completed, in which 70 marks is for Viva and 30 marks for internal assessment. So total again 100 marks, and total marks will be 100 plus 100, 200 marks. So here we are ending our completed our this session. So for like this video, share and subscribe our channel, and if you need that PDF I have shown you in between the class, you can comment PDF for that sporting PDF. I will upload it and give to you. Thank you guys, and all the best for your Viva. Keep calm. If you study all the portion from before exam, then you can easily write and perform well. Okay, and since you have already given your theory exam, so it's not a big deal. You have already gone through the big vast syllabus. Now you have to focus on the essential and the particular the mentioned things. No need to go in the deep. First at least you should know the particular heading that is mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, all the best guys. Thank you.